Hello, people of the Tarotverse. Well, I hope you're doing good today. I'm having a pretty good day, except to say I found a hole in my roof this morning. So I'm not too impressed with that, but I put a picture of it on Facebook Marketplace, and I hope someone's going to come along and mend the hole in my roof for me, and maybe not charge me millions of pounds so that I can actually afford to go on living, which is always a nice thing. Anyway, in today's video, I have got with me Tarot in Wonderland. Ooh, and there we go. Number 2, the High Priestess, showing on the front of the deck as I so happen to pick it up there. Also going to use these Oracle cards, which I haven't used for a while. Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle. And we're going to do some cards for all the star signs. Okay, it's an all signs reading for absolute certain. And we're going to be looking into the matter of love. Now, I'm not saying it's a relationship reading. I'm not saying it's, will I find my dream lover reading, anything like that. Everybody has got their own kind of, everyone's in their own place with love. That's what I'm trying to say. So everyone knows what they're looking for. And this is going to be about what you're looking for. How's it going to work out? Is it going to even come in the first place? Depends who you are. But let's pull some cards and see what happens. I'm going to go over to my faithful tarot table so you can all have a look. The cat is asleep on the bed. I'm using a green candle today because it's Friday as I'm doing this video. It might be a different day when you're watching it, but in the pagan tradition, it's good to have a different candle colour for every day. I'm not going to be doing this every single day because I've run out of certain candle dyes. Like tomorrow's candle colour, Saturday, is black, which, people think, oh my goodness, black candles, is this kind of Satanism? And no, it most certainly isn't. Black candles are there to release you from difficult situations where someone's really leaning on you and trying to teach you to do things in a bad way, maybe manipulating you, maybe stealing your energy, maybe putting some kind of hex on you. A black candle will always break that. But unfortunately, I don't have any black candle dice, so I'm not going to be doing that tomorrow. But the colour for today is green, and so that's the candle we're going to use. Anyway, let us take a look at the tarot table and see what comes up for all signs in this reading, all about love. Right, let's have a look then, see what we've got. Let's have a shuffle. Every time I clean my nice blue tablecloth that's underneath all these things here, my cats walk all over the table, so there's not a great deal I can do to keep it clean, unfortunately. I suppose I could keep the cats off the table, but I love my cats too much to do that. So I've put my nice purple scarf on here. What do you mean I haven't ironed it? It's ruched. It's meant to be ruched, you see. That's my excuse anyway. But I haven't ironed it. That is an absolute admission. Whoa, cards falling out everywhere. So let's pull 3 cards and see where we go. Okay, and you can pick a card. What we're going to do is go through these 3 cards, see which card you've picked, see which one jumps out at you, see which one sort of means something to you, and then we'll pull some more cards about it as we go, and we'll do some oracle stuff with this deck as well, which is it's a fantastic deck. Work your light, and using your light is really an important thing in anything to do with love. It really makes a difference because we all do have that light within us, and it's just about making the most of it, making the best of it, and sometimes that's making the best of a bad situation around love. Card number 1 is the King of Swords here. Now, he's Humpty Dumpty with a crown on and a sword, so there's something to kind of make your mind up about here, okay? There's something maybe coming to a head, something of a crisis coming into the situation, possibly. And in any case, because he's Humpty Dumpty, this card always gives me the feeling that people are having to walk on eggshells. Well, if he falls off the wall, we certainly will have to walk on eggshells to get round him. It's the only way. Now, right up here in the corner, we've got this claw thing coming out of the clouds. I don't know exactly what that is. I think maybe it's the top of a mountain or something like that. And in terms of love and in terms of relationships, which is the intention of this reading, this it's an unknown thing, you know. Maybe it is the top of a mountain, but whatever it is, we can't quite make it out because there's not much cloud in the way, just a tiny bit of cloud in the way there. But that is making a difference nonetheless because we can't actually see what's going on. And when we're walking on eggshells around someone, we never know exactly why. We never know exactly what the problem is. People can seem to be very, very unreasonable, particularly, you know, where love is involved, where it's a relationship, where something that's important to the heart is involved in it. And he just looks kind of absolutely cool as a cucumber there, doesn't he? He doesn't look as if he cares about anything. He's not even bothered about being so close to the green candle, even. But you know, this is so often what happens. Everybody that we meet, it's been said, is fighting a battle somehow, somewhere in their life, and that's kind of why it's always good to try and be kind to people if you possibly can. And it's not always possible because it's not always easy, and that's a fact of life. Sometimes it's so difficult that it just can't be done, and then we start seeing relationships break down. But if you pick this card, there's something in the love around you, something in your love life, whatever manifestation love actually has for you and means to you. There's something unseen. It's impossible to tell what the details are. But at the same time, you're going to have to think, you know, what are you actually going to do? He's got a dictionary here, right? And this is saying that he values words. He values sort of carefully chosen and carefully made up sentences. And, you know, what you say is important. So, you know, speak your truth. That is always a really crucial thing to do. Speak your truth. It absolutely matters every time. But at the same time, you know, speak your truth in a way that someone else is going to take in the right spirit. You might have to be quite careful. This is the walking on eggshells thing. And I'm so often telling people in matters of love, because I do kind of spiritual counselling as well, you know, if you've got to walk on eggshells around someone your whole life, then that's not really a great relationship. That's not really taking you anywhere, and it's just not going to end well, you know, unless you're able to persevere and actually come out the other side of it. But that's another matter. Anyway, let's get another card to see if we can learn some more about what's going on with the King of Swords here. One has fallen out, and it's the Queen of Cups. Okay, so maybe you're the King of Swords and the other person is the Queen of Cups, or maybe you're the Queen of Cups and the other person is the King of Swords, but we've definitely got a coupling here, have we not? Let's just hold them up together. Let's show them together. And with the Queen of Cups, you see, nothing is hidden. The cup is right up there in the foreground of the card. You can read it. You can kind of decide for yourself what it means if you're reading this deck for yourself. But we've got a lot of blue in this card. Blue is the colour, and it makes me think of that song, what was it by? Eiffel 65. It was in the British charts a while ago, and I'd be amazed if it wasn't in the American charts too, because it's a very American kind of song. And this guy's got everything he wants, you know. I have this, I have that, and he says, I have a girlfriend and she's so blue. So are you so blue? And if so, is it because you're misunderstanding what's going on with the King of Swords energy here? That's the question, and it's a big question, really. The Queen of Cups in this deck, she's not that great at looking after herself and putting her own interests first, and that's what you might need to do. That is certainly going to get you past the thought of walking on eggshells around the Humpty Dumpty King of Swords character here. It's also going to help you to be decisive if you just decide, well, you know, I want what's in this cup. This is my longings. This is my desires. I'm looking wistfully at this cup. How am I going to get what's in it? Well, be decisive, you know, really make a decision about that. Okay, let's take out an oracle card. And oh, the box is really hard to open, but there we go. We are in. We are in. Okay, let's have a shuffle and see what we get. This is so important thing to us all, love, you know. Even those of us who are kind of quite happy living on our own, maybe aren't looking for love at all. You know, there's love out there in the universe, and the relationships we have with other people are a big part of what sustains us. It's very hard to go without. So tell us some more, please, in this reading for all signs about the King of Swords and the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups and the King of Swords. What are we going to pull for a card? This one seems to be suggesting itself. It's right on the top. So I'll bring it out, and it's Anna, grandmother of Jesus. bit of a religious kind of inference coming in here to go with these two cards. So I guess this is the higher self, you know, in terms of religion and everything. And I don't want to get stuck into religion at this point, but or at any point really. It causes so much trouble, does it not? But see religion as, you know, your higher self, the things you believe in most, the things that you really hold dear to yourself. And the words here, Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Okay, so whatever you're going through with the King of Swords here, or whatever you're going through with the Queen of Cups here, this is the thing to remember. Whatever's going on at the moment, anything at all that's going on, is about seeding the light, laying foundations and the divine plan. So things are getting set up, you know. Nothing comes into being totally easy. Everything that we bring into this world, there's a cost attached to it. There's work involved with it. And having children, a wonderful privilege, but so much work. It really broke me in half, actually. I brought up 2 daughters on my own, and it nearly broke me in half. But I'm very, very glad I did it. You know, they're in their 20s now, and they're still around caring for me. And one day, when I'm absolutely past it, which isn't yet, that's my affirmation, it isn't yet, they will be, no doubt, there, you know, as a loving presence to look after me. That's my take on love, you know, for this first card. And the main card, of course, is the King of Swords. But whatever's going on here, whatever's difficult, is all about laying foundations, what it means in the middle. Seeing the light, you know, not seeing the light, seeding the light, I'm sorry, planting the seeds. Well, that's what you've got to do, really, all the time, because even when relationships are good, even when love is flowing and everything's kind of pretty good in your life and you're going along happily, you've got to think of the future. You've got to think about what's to come. So let's put these together. So yeah, what I was going to say actually there was, you know, you've got to keep on planting new seeds for new things to grow. I did so much work in my garden last year, and I'm still out there digging now, even though it's winter, because I'm getting the soil ready for whatever's going to grow next year. So, my friends, what is going to be card number 2? Let's just pull this one out of the way so we can get a clear field to have a look at it. Number 14 in the Major Arcana, Temperance. So if you picked card number 2, the answers to whatever might be your questions about love might be at this point really involve finding a balance, you know, very Libran kind of energy around this one. It's a card that's associated with Sagittarius, but Sagittarius is one of those signs where you really need to find balance. It's out there, you know, being a Saggy. I actually am a Saggy, so I guess this is my card in so many ways. And, you know, when I have those wild out there plans, I sort of need someone to say, you know, hang on, just take a reality check here. Let's just see what's actually going to happen. And what's really good for me is to spend time in nature. And that comes across very, very strongly in this card. Alice is here holding up 2 rocks and she's got her eyes closed. Just bring that a bit closer so you can see it. She's got her eyes closed in meditation. And there's the caterpillar up here smoking his hookah pipe. Well, yes, he is actually, because he's blowing smoke out. So he's smoking his hookah pipe. But there's actually another stem here that someone else could smoke. Alice could smoke it, but she's left it up on top of the mushroom there. So she's being temperate. What's she being? She's showing temperance anyway, because she's not kind of taking advantage of all the wild pleasures that the hookah pipe might afford. Instead, she's got her eyes closed in meditation. She's got the 2 rocks and she's weighing them up. She's balancing them, and it's all happening in the scope of nature. These mushrooms have been known to be used for naughty purposes, but maybe she took that bite out of it. I don't know. But maybe take a walk on the wild side. And by that I don't mean go out and take a load of magic mushrooms. Don't do that, whatever you do. I must admit I've done that in my younger day, and it's not the best idea. It really isn't. It kind of changes things in a way that aren't good. And if you drew this card, you're looking to change things in a way that actually is good. Lots of ways, maybe, lots of things coming around you that you could think about, things you could contemplate doing to change things. But you've absolutely got to keep it real. And that's what Alice is doing here. She's keeping it real. She's weighing it up, and she's not actually looking at the stones because she's got her eyes closed in that meditative way. She is actually weighing them up to see how they feel. And it's more about how things feel than about how things actually are. when the Temperance card comes up, because sometimes you see more things with your third eye than you see with the two round things at the top of your face, and that's why it's no bad thing to keep them firmly closed sometimes. So let's take another tarot card and say, tell us more please about number 14, Temperance. If I can just hang on to the cards without spilling them everywhere. Sometimes they spill and that means I've got to read them. Sometimes I spill like the whole deck, and no point reading 78 cards for anyone or anything. This one looks like it wants to come out though, and that's saved us some time. So 10 of Pentacles we've got here. Now where is that going to fit in with number 14, Temperance? We've got the 10 of Pentacles. Let's take a look at them together here. Okay. So there's a kind of a decision-making process going on here. It's not a sword card, but it's all about balance. And how do you bring things into balance? Well, sometimes you need to sleep on it. So if this is a relationship thing for you, or whatever it is to do with love, you need to take some time and just kind of stop worrying about it. Either think about something else or just go to sleep. You can see the ginger cat here, the grinning Cheshire cat, isn't grinning at all. He is firmly asleep, and I think he's a male cat because stripy ginger cats are nearly always male cats. But there's a little white cat up here as well, showing something of the higher self. Both parts of the higher self are actually soundly asleep, and they're being watched over. They're safe because these ancestral energies, these family energies, represented by the pictures up at the top of the card, are keeping a close eye on things. And we've got the 10 of Pentacles. It's a very positive card, very good card. Shows that the abundance is flowing and that good things not just coming, but they're actually here already. So nothing to worry about. If you're trying to find the balance of the Temperance card with something around love at this moment, then just don't worry, okay? Things are going to be okay when we get this card. There's no point in kind of bothering your mind, bothering your higher self about this one. So let's put those two down, and we'll pull a Work Your Light Oracle card and see where we go with that. Let's have a bit of an old shuffle again. I'm not a great shuffler, to be quite honest with you. That's why I take so long doing it. It takes me ages, but I get there in the end. Come on, we'll cut the deck. And in fact, I'm going to pull a chunk out of the middle of the deck. And here's something worth thinking about, actually, if you're thinking about becoming a reader, or you're thinking about deepening your kind of experience and ability as a reader. We all have spirit guides and angels who are around us when we're doing these readings. They're the ones who kind of really pick the cards, and that's why it can be as amazing as it sometimes is. And they know how you're going to shuffle. They know which card you're going to pull, which in this case is the one off the bottom of the deck. And they just know, so you can go with the flow. And even if you're a really ham-fisted shuffler like me, you can pull Leap. In other words, you can pull the right card. Okay, and this is to go with Temperance and also the 10 of Pentacles here. So what's she waiting for as she sleeps? What is actually going to happen while you sleep on it, while you think of what's going to happen? Well, you're going to wake up and you're going to have a pretty good idea what to do if you just take your mind off it and stop panicking about things for a while. And what you've got to do is make that leap of faith. And it says down here, you go first, the universe will catch you. And it most certainly will. Sometimes we get kind of really nervous about things to do with love, because love is such a big thing in the heart. Love is such a big influence in our lives. It really gets us on edge. We can get very, very concerned about matters of love. And that concern can stop us actually making the leap of faith. Sometimes we think we're better off with things as they are. Sometimes we think, why not just cut your losses and let things go? Well, because the universe is always bringing something positive in around us in terms of love, in terms of everything, actually. And so you go first. It says the universe will catch you. And when you're seeking love, when you're trying to be a loving person, when you're trying to have love in your life, and loving your cat, loving your dog can make you a better person. It isn't all about human relationships, not by a long way. But the universe is a very loving thing, so when you're actually in that loving frame of mind, you're very closely in tune with everything the universe is always trying to do, because it's always trying to balance itself. That's why we get wind and sun and rain and snow all at different times. That's the world physically trying to balance itself, and on a bigger level, a much higher level, the universe is always trying to balance itself as well. Now we can see this lady's really taken a big leap here, and the moon is right behind her. See, it's right behind her head there. So the universe has your back in terms of everything you're thinking about. All the planets are in tune with what you're trying to do. And we've got this galaxy showing in the background. I'll try and bring the card a bit closer to the camera for you to see. And this is one of those things, we look up into the sky at night and it looks like a smudge of lighting in the background. And that's actually because those stars, as I'm sure you know, as I think we all know, those stars are so far away, we can barely pick one star out from another. And goodness me, we are coming up to a time, just a week or so after I make this video, we've got on the 21st of December, we've got that Saturn and, is it Uranus or is it, I think it's the Saturn-Jupiter conjunct. I must write it down, you know, because I forget that in nearly every video. But two very major planets going to be kind of conjuncting each other. So as we look from Earth, one's going to be in front of the other. They're going to be superimposed, and it's going to be a super bright light. So the universe is in catching you mode at the moment. That's what it's trying to do. That is what it's all about. Okay, so if you pick card number 2, number 14, Temperance, then just kind of sleep on it. Sleep on whatever you're worrying about, you know, because worry is a destructive thing. Things happen or don't happen, whether we worry about them or not. That's an absolute fact. I keep worrying about the hole in my roof because we're in winter and it's rainy, but something will happen. You know, I won't be like dead next week because of it, I'm sure. So, you know, take that leap of faith. Just keep on going. Keep on not worrying. And it sometimes takes a big leap of faith to stop worrying about stuff. But the less you worry, the better things are going to turn out. But sleep on it. There's the middle card, really, that I pulled. Sleep on it. That's the way to find the answers. So then, what was card number 3? Let us discover card number 3. What have we got? It's the Ten of Swords. Ah, now this came up in the live reading the other night. By the way, do look out for live readings. I'm going to be doing more of those. I'm never quite sure when I can get on, but it worked so well the other night, I'm sure that it's going to work out. And, you know, Melanie, of all people, was telling me that, you know, I was kind of finding my soul family in a way when I did that live the other night. And this is something that does happen on the internet and through YouTube, you know. Our spirit guides can use any influence, no matter how random it might seem to us, to actually bring the right things into being. It's forever doing it. If you just look at the crystals I've got on the table here, they're all made in their different way. We've got tourmaline there, we've got some lapis lazuli, real stone of connection, and this, whose name I've forgotten, what was it? Hematite. That's it, hematite, because in its natural form it's got red streaks in it that look a bit like blood, but it's a metallic thing, it's a magnetic thing, it's amazing, very different to all the other stones. We've got this one here which looks to me like pink rhodonite. Actually, I think that's what this is. Completely different again. It's all about releasing yourself from difficult energies, a bit like the black candle I was talking about at the beginning. Some rose quartz here, and we all know what that means. And the universe kind of just brought this to me at the right time. And it's just the right colour. Some of it's more pink, some of it's less pink. This one is almost clear, but you can just catch the pink tint in it. And so the universe always knows what to do. You know, we've got one here as well, and I'm afraid I actually don't know what this one is. I'm going to have to ask the person who gave it to me, but it's absolutely beautiful. I actually think it's labradorite, looking at it, you know. Again, different purpose, different kind of meaning behind that stone coming into my life. So, the universe has that way of bringing things together, which is very good news, because card number 3, if you picked it, is the Ten of Swords. And this would mean that... come here. This would mean that things have really been falling apart for you. But look at this, you know, the character is all smashed up in bits. We've got hands, we've got all kinds of different body parts. We've got an old sock here or a shoe or something, and broken bones everywhere. But when you really kind of think about it, there's no blood in this card. This is a kind of a bloodless coup, but it does show big changes. And because this is a love reading, maybe this is going to mean letting someone go. You know, they say if you love somebody, set them free. If things aren't so great with your love life, with your relationship life, or if you're just kind of not having a love of life, you know, if life isn't treating you in a way that you feel you can love and be happy about, just let it go, okay? Because what's happened, you have actually reached a crisis point where things have not just started to change, they've been ripped apart, you know. But very neatly, very cleanly, it's bloodless. And if we look up above the stone wall here, the stone wall, which is such a solid thing, something you know, stone wall, you can't get past the stone wall. But look, it's kind of dipped down a bit here, deliberately, so that you can actually see the sunset. Or is it the sunrise? I don't know, but whichever one it is, the sun is going to rise if it's a sunset. If it's a sunrise, the sun is actually rising. But in any case, better things aren't far away. That's the bottom line. Beautiful colours in the sky here. I'll bring it up a bit closer to the camera. And I'm not actually sure what the camera can see at this moment, I'm guessing. But beautiful night sky here. Or is it an early morning sky? I can't tell. There must be a way to tell. And one day I will find out, and then I will actually be able to say one way or another. But there we go, you know, that's only half the story, isn't it? Things have broken, there's a new dawn coming, for sure. But what is actually going to be coming in? So tell us more in this all signs reading about love, about what the Ten of Swords is telling for everyone who picked card number 3 in this reading. Okay, 2 cards at once, so we'll read them both, and then we'll do an oracle card too to see where we're going. First one, the Hierophant. Okay, this means that some outside knowledge is going to be needed. The Cheshire Cat grinning away up in the tree here is a bit like the priest in the more traditional versions of the tarot. It's Alice's higher self in lots of ways. That is always what the Cheshire Cat is chiefly about in this deck. But this means she's got to kind of think, you know, get some advice from her higher self, or from someone who's an authority on understanding other people's higher selves. And there are such people about. You can actually find them if you look. So seek advice. Okay, that's number 5 in the major arcana. It's the Hierophant. And at the same time, this one came out, 5 of Wands, so we've got a crazy battle going on. Egos are involved, egos are almost certainly bruised, and maybe this is the battle that actually gave rise to all these swords being stuck in whoever this poor soul is in the middle of it here. So you're not being treated terribly well, I would think, if you pick this card. Different strokes for different folks, always in my readings. That is always how I roll. But the 5 of Wands is here, and people are battling with flamingos, which are always a bit of a flight of fancy, aren't they? I've actually seen flamingos in real life. They are for real. They are absolutely beautiful. But if I had to indulge in a big battle with someone, or play this game, a croquet hoop at last, play this game of croquet, I don't think I'd want to use a flamingo as a weapon. So it's a kind of a bit of a pointless battle, and egos are involved. So that's where this comes from, really. But the answers are up there in the higher self, you know. And we've got a gap of light through the trees, but that light is coming in through the wisdom of the grinning Cheshire Cat. And Alice is actually open to the advice of the Cheshire Cat. She's deliberately gone to consult the Cheshire Cat at this point in the Alice stories. Okay, so there are actually 3, count them 3, not just 2, but actually 3 tarot cards, which came out if you picked the 10 of Swords, if you picked card number 3. But let's find out some more, please. Tell us some more about this love situation for people who picked card number 3 in this all signs reading. Let's see what we've got. We've got the Great Gathering. Now then, this is good. I'm really glad this came up. Here, we've got a great scattering, haven't we? All the parts are scattered, and the light is quite a long way in the distance as it rises. But here, we've got the Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits, Soul Tribe. Okay, those 3 things say it all, I think. Intuitive hits, that's a real important one, okay? Something about your intuition drew you to pick card number 3. Something about your intuition drew you to actually watch this video. I'm always talking about our spirit guides working with us, and they do, you know, they're a big part of our intuition, but it's your intuition that actually brought you into whatever situation you're in now. It might not be a good situation, but it's a situation that's healing you in some way. It's bringing you some new knowledge. It's bringing something new into your life. Maybe it's already brought it. Maybe you're thinking, no thanks, I'm not sticking around for tea and cake at this point in my love life, which is absolutely fine. But it's your intuition that really hits on the answers. So it's all coming together. And it also says soul tribe. And I was talking, wasn't I, a little bit earlier about soul tribes and how I seem to be finding more and more people from my soul tribe through YouTube after a long time of trying to actually get my videos out there more than they had been. Suddenly the videos are getting out there more. They're getting slightly more views, and the live sessions are going really well. And through the lives, and through the internet actually a lot of the time, I have met many members of my soul tribe. I actually came into the idea of mediumship, spiritualist mediumship, which is my main sort of thing that I do, through the internet. It was a website. My girlfriend left me, so that was my love life falling apart. My girlfriend left me, and I was devastated, so I just kind of threw myself into the internet, started researching things and finding out what I could. And I'd always been interested in things to do with the tarot, because I have actually been reading tarot since the 1980s, so that fascinated me. And I went onto this website, and someone started teaching me to be a medium, said I had the gift and he would teach me. And he did. And I've met so many of my soul tribe on the internet. But wherever you're looking for them, your soul tribe is out there looking for you. That's the nature of soul tribes. You guys are seeking each other out. And as we go on the spiritual journey, we reach a point where we can kind of perceive light and dark a lot better. And sometimes we start finding darkness in people who we saw a lot of light in previously, and it's because we've gone up a notch when that happens. You know, we're actually going further along life's journey and further along our path, and we need to actually leave the past in the past, particularly where the past is dark. But look, all these people are coming together in the light, in this beautiful purple healing landscape here. So whatever's fallen away from you in your life, whatever's got fragmented here, just leave it in the past, okay? It's old news. And I'll do a video actually about what that means, another Stuff Psychics Say video. I'll do that very soon. But leave the past in the past, keep the lessons and the love, and keep moving forward. And be aware that the people coming around you at this time are actually your soul tribe. That is so important. So there we go. 3 cards we've had. 10 of Swords was number 3. Temperance was number 2. And of course, excuse me, just shuffling things around here to try and get it all on camera. There's number 2. There's number 3. And this was number 1, wasn't it? Humpty Dumpty, walking on eggshells, King of Swords there. So whichever card you picked, that is the advice coming at you from this reading. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I'll be back again with more videos very soon. Meantime, please do look after yourself. Please do look out for the live stream, which will be coming up very soon. I'm never sure exactly when I'm going to get to do that. Excuse me, I'm just shuffling around so I can switch my camera off. But yeah, meantime, leave me a comment. Guys, it's great to share the journey. It's great to meet you guys and get to know who you are. Have a fabulous time ahead. Thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed this one. Leave me a comment. We'll share the journey. And love, light, blessings, and peace.